Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, our lesson is going to be on chapter 14.2, and we're going to be talking about community interactions. So, how different species interact with each other within an ecosystem. Is this recording? Oh, man. Okay, sorry about that. So, the first thing we're going to talk about, our first type of species interaction, we're going to be talking about competition, right? Right here. So competition. Let me get rid of that thing here. Okay. All right. So when we're talking about competition, we could be talking about two different types of competition. Okay. We could be talking about competition between two different organisms for the same resources, or we could be talking about competition within the same species. Okay. And I misspoke before. Not two different organisms. Interspecific. Right here, interspecific, two different species. Okay, sorry for my handwriting, it's the best I got. Intraspecific, there's the word right here, intraspecific, okay, this is going to refer to competition within the same species. Okay, so interspecific could be, for instance, right? So if we're looking at this one's right here, interspecific, that's going to be dealing mostly with two different types of species that are competing for, let's say, the same home or the same food to eat, the same water source. When we're talking about that, I'm coming to mind would be, for instance, if we're looking at this picture right here, right? So we have the snake eating the mouse. Now, is that snake probably the only thing in the area that eats mice? Probably not. Okay. It might be competing for resources with, let's say, hawks or a fox, something of that nature, something else that might be eating mice. When we're talking about intraspecific, that might be another snake, right? So when we're interspecific, that might be another snake that's also trying to find food. So that snake is also going to be after mice, okay, just like this member of its same species is. So let's say these are both rattlesnakes. Okay, so oh, it says right here, timber rattlesnake. So this timber rattlesnake was able to catch that mouse and get its food. However, if there was another one in the area also hunting for mice, it's not going to be able to catch that mouse anymore. That mouse has been taken, right? They were competing for resources, and maybe this one was a little bit closer, a little bit faster of a hunter, and was able to outcompete, right, a member of the same species. All right, so getting on to our next relationship between species, this is actually a very good example of predation. So while this snake might be competing with another timber rattlesnake for that mouse, the fact that it is catching and killing prey, right, makes it a predator. All right, so anytime we have a predator-prey relationship, right, this is called predation. All right, when one organism captures and feeds upon another organism. Okay, so now I've moved on to the next page. We're on page 432, and this brings us into three different examples of symbiosis. All right, so symbiosis is a close relationship between two or more organisms of a different species that live in direct contact with each other. So they're most likely within the same habitat. Okay, so now we're going to have three different types. Right, so we have mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism. Okay, when we're talking about mutualism, we're talking about a relationship in which both parties are going to benefit. All right, so this is a positive relationship. So having this relationship with each other, these two different species, is beneficial to both things. Okay, So a prime example of this is going to be bees and flowering plants. I'm just going to write flowers. Okay, so bees and flowering plants. Okay, so how do these two things benefit each other? Well, the bees are going to benefit because they are getting food. Okay, so the bees land on the flower to collect the nectar, okay, to bring it back to their hive. And the flowers are going to benefit because the bees, when they jump from flower to flower, it's a really bad flower. Here's another really bad flower. So when the bee lands on this flower and then jumps to that flower, it's going to transfer pollen. Okay? And therefore, the pollen transferring from the one flower to the other is going to fertilize the flowers. Okay? Which aids in this plant's reproduction. So another example of mutualism I want to show you here is if you look at this picture right over here. So we have a rhinoceros and these little birds sitting on the back of the rhinoceros. Now I can go through a lot of different pictures here. I'll just keep clicking on them here, here, here. Okay, this is a common thing. Okay, so this is actually a form of mutualism. So the birds are sitting on the back of the rhino, right? And they are picking bugs off the rhinoceros and eating them. Okay, so they peck at the rhinoceros and clean all the bugs and stuff off of it. So they're receiving a meal, which is good for them. And it's good for the rhinoceros because they're helping rid him of these parasites, right? These things that are living on him or using him for nourishment or a living space, which, can be irritating or even harmful. And these birds are helping to rid the rhino of those things, right? So they're eating the bugs off the rhino. Rhino has no bugs, which is a good thing. The birds are getting a meal, which is a good thing. Plus, plus. So the next term we're going to be talking about is commensalism, right? So commensalism, this is a little bit different. So when we're talking about commensalism, we are going to have one party that benefits from the situation. However, we're going to have another party that doesn't benefit, but it doesn't harm it as well, right? So it just kind of doesn't care about the situation, while the other one is benefiting greatly, okay? So if we take a look here, okay, we have just move this around a little bit. We have the pilot fish, right, swimming alongside a white-tipped shark, right? Now this is a form of commensalism. The white-tipped shark is not benefiting by these fish swimming around it, okay? It's not going to eat them, and those fish are not giving the shark anything. However, when the shark eats, it's going to leave little bits of whatever it ate. It's going to come flying out of its mouth. It's going to be left over. And these little fishies, right, are going to benefit because now they just won a free meal. So by staying close to the shark, they kind of get a free, easy meal out of the situation. But do they give anything to the shark? No. So the shark really doesn't benefit. The shark doesn't care that they're there, but the shark isn't getting anything back from them. And last one on this page here, parasitism. All right, so parasitism is a relationship where one party is going to benefit, however, the other party is going to be harmed. All right, so when we're talking about parasitism, we're talking about parasites. All right, so some prime examples of this could be, for instance, lice, ticks. So the lice would live in your hair, or in and around your hair, and they kind of burrow into the skin a little bit, and they suck the blood, and they get nourishment, and they get a place to hide and a place to live. However, you're itchy and scratchy and really uncomfortable. So that would be a negative for the host. All right, so this is every parasite, right, which is the one that's going to be benefiting. All right, so the benefiting party is called a parasite. The one that's being harmed is called a host. Okay, now we can be a host to a lot of different types of parasites. We could have tapeworms inside of our intestinal tract. They eat the food that you eat, and they grow and grow and grow. However, if they grow too big, they can form intestinal blockages, and you could become very, very sick. So generally you would go to the hospital and they give you medication to help kill the parasite, and then you have to defecate the parasite out. And they have to make sure to check that they get the head that clamps onto the inside of your intestinal tract. And I make a hand like this because they literally have little hooks. And they cling onto the inside of your intestines. And unless they kill the head and it releases and comes out, it will regrow. So that's problematic. So they got to make sure to actually get the head and get rid of the entire parasite. We could talk about, God, I could talk about this forever. Athlete's foot, that's a fungus. It's living on your foot and it's eating away your skin. It's good for the fungus, bad for you. I just want to bring your attention to page 433. Looking at symbiotic relationships again, they have parasitism, commensalism, and mutualism. I'm not going to go over these because you can easily read them yourself. But if you have any questions about them, please feel free to leave it in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay? It's always good to ask questions. I can't come up with every single example for all of these because there's a lot. But if you have questions about any other ones, please let me know. Okay, so just one last thing I want to bring up before I get out of here is a glaring difference between parasitism, my window here, parasitism, right, and predation, all right? These are not equal, okay? They are not the same thing, all right? When I'm talking about parasitism, a parasite sorry, it is really hard to type on my screen. It bounces around a lot. Parasite. Okay, so a parasite does not, all right, does not want to kill the host, all right? Am I right? No, kill. Okay, now lots of times a parasite over time may end up killing its host. A parasite can be a bacterial infection. People die from bacterial infections all the time. People die from different types of parasites like tapeworms that go unchecked. They don't go to the hospital and get that fixed. Parasites can kill their host, all right, but that is not what they want to do. Okay, remember that a parasite does not want to kill its actual host. Remember, if a parasite kills its host, it no longer has a food source and it no longer has a place to live. All right, so that is not good. All right, when we're talking about a predator, sorry, once again, I'm just going to write really badly here. Yes, kill. All right, a predator does want to kill its prey. All right, that's the only way it's going to get its food. All right, so a predator is going to hunt, it is going to kill, and it is going to eat. Okay, a parasite wants to live in and eat off of its host, but it does not want to kill it because if it dies, it no longer has that food source and it no longer has that place to live. If its host dies, it dies. A predator, it needs to kill its prey. All right, so that is a glaring difference. They are not the same. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I just would like to remind you that, and I think I'm in the way here, I would just like to remind you that, once again, 14.2, all right, this is going to be due on Friday. The date by Friday is the 15th, okay? So I'll post this video on the 11th, and then it's going to be due on the 15th, okay? Make sure that you type it in a Word document, and then just click on the file icon and upload it into your comments. Please make sure you type something in the comments because I don't think it's going to actually let you upload unless you type something in. Okay? If you have any questions, please, you can leave them in the comments. You can get me at my Google Voice number, which I've given to everybody. You can send me a message on Schoology. Your parent can contact me on Class Dojo. We got a lot of different methods going on here, so please use them. It's great to talk to you guys. I miss you guys a lot, and I hope you guys are safe and working hard. And we're going to get through this together. And I will see you in the next video. And if you need to contact me and actually call me, you can call me as well. We could even set up a video chat or something.